The Final Hour in Caracas. Part 1. The Palace Under Pressure. The silence in the presidential palace was louder than any explosion. On the mahogany desk, a glass of water was trembling, not from an earthquake, but from the rhythm of approaching helicopters. For years, the man sitting in that office had called the shots for an entire nation. But tonight, as the city held its breath, he realized the ultimate truth. The doors that had kept the world out were now keeping him trapped. Guards paced up and down the long corridors, while ministers waited behind closed doors. Only hours earlier, the leader had believed he could fix the situation one more time. Now, as night was falling, doubt was slowly weighing on his mind. The walls of the palace seemed closer than before, as if they were closing in on him. He knew that his entire legacy was at stake. Part 2. The city erupts. While the leader was reading secret reports, protests were breaking out across the city. Thousands of people were filling the streets, shouting for change. They had had enough. The government had tried to crack down on the demonstrations, but the anger was too strong to control. The helicopters were approaching from the east, their loud noise cutting through the night air. By the time they reached the palace, negotiations had already taken place in hidden rooms. Deals had been discussed, and promises had been made, but nothing was certain. Inside, the leader remembered how he had shut down the opposition months before. Back then, he thought fear would keep him safe. But now, the tide was turning, and the palace no longer felt like a fortress. Part 3. The End of an Era. As the helicopters circled above, soldiers entered the building. They did not raise their voices, but their message was clear. Power was slipping away. The leader stood up and looked out of the window at the dark city. He realized that the moment he had feared had finally come. For years, he had stood his ground, refusing to listen to his critics. He had believed loyalty would protect him, but loyalty had limits. One by one, his allies had given in to the pressure. The operation to transfer power was being carried out carefully and quietly. In that final hour, the leader understood that he could not hold on to power any longer. To avoid chaos, he would have to step down. It was not defeat he feared most, but being forgotten. Part 4. A New Dawn. When the night ended, a new chapter began. The leader slipped out of the palace just as the sun rose over Caracas. The crowds slowly calmed, unsure but hopeful. The future was unclear, but a line had been drawn between the past and what might come next. The country had paid a high price, but change was finally possible. Power had changed hands, not with celebration, but with a deep sense of relief. Venezuela was moving forward, one careful step at a time. Key vocabulary, B2 level. To call the shots, to be the person who makes the important decisions. Behind closed doors, in secret, away from the public eye, to weigh on someone, to make someone feel worried or pressured. At stake, at risk, in a position where it could be lost. To break out, to start suddenly, used for protests, war, or fire. To crack down on, to use force or authority to stop an activity. To shut down, to stop something from operating or speaking. To stand one's ground. To refuse to change your opinion or position. To give in. To finally agree to something you were opposing. To surrender. To carry out. To perform or complete a task or plan. To hold on to power. To keep control of a country or organization. To step down. To resign or leave an important job. To draw a line. To create a clear boundary between two situations.